The roar of motorcycles echoed down the lonely back road, a deep, thunderous growl that shook the stillness of the afternoon. To most people, the sight of nearly a dozen leather-clad bikers riding in formation would be intimidating, something to avoid. But for one little girl standing barefoot at the edge of the road, that sound was her only hope. Her small hands shook as she waved frantically, tears streaking her dirt-stained cheeks. She couldn't have been more than 8 years old, her hair tied in 2 uneven braids. When the bikers slowed and circled back toward her, the leader cut his engine and pulled off his helmet. His eyes softened when he saw her. "Sweetheart, are you okay?" he asked, his voice gruff but kind. The girl clutched a small backpack to her chest, almost as if it were more valuable than her own life. She took one trembling step closer and whispered, "Please, hide me from my dad." The bikers exchanged stunned looks. They were used to roadside breakdowns, stranded travelers, even people in distress. But this was different. This was a child begging strangers, men society often labeled as dangerous, to protect her. The leader, a broad-shouldered man everyone called Bear, knelt to her level. "Why, honey? What's happening?" Her lips quivered, but she didn't speak. Instead, she hugged the bag tighter, as though it contained the truth she couldn't yet say. The bikers noticed fresh bruises on her arms. That was enough for them to know this wasn't just a lost child. Something darker was at play. They quickly made a decision. Bear motioned for the others to form a protective circle with their bikes, their engines still rumbling like loyal guard dogs. The little girl was ushered to the center, safe for the moment. "Don't worry, we got you," Bear assured her. But as they prepared to call the authorities, headlights appeared in the distance. A pickup truck barreled toward them, dust kicking up behind it. The girl's face went pale. "That's him," she cried, her voice breaking. The truck screeched to a halt, and a furious man jumped out. His clothes were filthy, his eyes bloodshot. He stormed toward the bikers, shouting, "That's my daughter, hand her over." But the bikers didn't move. They stood like a wall between the man and the trembling girl. "She says she doesn't feel safe," Bear growled. "You're not getting anywhere near her until the cops get here." The man's rage boiled over. He tried to push past, but one of the bikers stepped forward, his tattooed arms crossed. "You'll have to go through all of us." Realizing he was outnumbered, the father spat curses but backed toward his truck, pacing like a predator waiting for his chance. The girl clung tighter to her backpack. When the police finally arrived, the tension cracked wide open. Officers separated the father, who was now screaming about lies and ungrateful kids. But the bikers noticed the officers' hesitation. It seemed they had dealt with this man before. He was known for his temper, but proving abuse was always hard. One officer gently asked the girl what was in her bag. She looked down, hesitated, and then slowly unzipped it. Inside were handwritten notes, drawings, and school papers, but also something that silenced everyone: photographs. Crumpled and hidden away, they showed her bruises in different stages: black eyes, split lips, dark welts across her back, and written on the back of some pictures were shaky words in a child's handwriting. "He did this." The bikers felt their hearts clench. This little girl had been building her own case, gathering proof because she knew no one would believe her otherwise. She had been preparing for the day she could finally escape. The officers' faces changed. Suddenly, there was no more doubt. The father was arrested on the spot, kicking and yelling as he was dragged away. The girl stood silently, clutching her bag even after it had been shown. Bear crouched beside her once more. "You were so brave," he told her. "You knew what you had to do, even when it was scary." For the first time, she allowed herself a small, tearful smile. "I just didn't want to go back there." The child services arrived soon after. The bikers refused to leave her side until they knew she was safe. They promised her that no matter where she went, she'd never have to face danger alone again. Over time, those bikers visited her regularly in her new foster home. They brought gifts on her birthdays, helped with school fundraisers, and showed up at her soccer games in full leather vests, cheering louder than anyone else. To the outside world, they were rough men with loud bikes. But to her, they were family. The first family that chose to protect her without asking anything in return. In the end, the shocking truth wasn't just what was found in her bag. It was the reminder of how far courage can go, even in the smallest hearts. The little girl's story spread through the town and beyond, inspiring others to speak up, to document their struggles, and to seek help no matter how hopeless it seemed. And the bikers. They gained a reputation as unlikely heroes, proving that compassion often hides in the most unexpected places. The message was clear: family isn't always the one you're born into. Sometimes, It's the one that finds you on the side of the road when you need saving most.